What's up, everybody? I am here to show you my pickups from September 2023. I did not have too much time to go thrifting this month. I was a little busy, and I've actually been preparing for two conventions coming up in October where I will be a vendor. First up is the Chicago Non-Sports Card Show, which will be at the Holiday Inn, I believe it's a Holiday Inn Express, in Carroll Stream, Illinois. So if you are a fan of collectible card games like Pokemon, Magic, or even maybe now Lorcana, or just general non-sports cards, and you live in the area, check it out. It's actually going to be my first time even attending the show. I've been trying to get in as a vendor for a while, but it's always sold out. But I got the last space. So that is going to be October, I believe it's the 6th and the 7th, Friday and Saturday. I will put details in the description below. And the second convention, I will be returning to the Chicago Toy Show at the Kane County Fairgrounds. That is a little bit later in the month. I believe it's the 21st and 22nd. It's a Saturday and Sunday. Again, if you have never been to the show, I made a video about my experience back in July, so be sure to check that out. And if you live in the area, come to the show. Again, details in the description below. Hope to see you there. All right, let's dive into the pickups. Okay, first off, let's start here. So I got a handful of movies, or just DVDs and Blu-rays in general. Here we go. First, a couple things I found at a Salvation Army. So I found the first season of Westworld on Blu-ray. Now, I believe it originally came with some sort of slipcase, but it was $1.99 and yellow tags were half off. So I'm not going to say no for 99 cents. I've been wanting to check this show out. Unfortunately, HBO or Max or whatever they're going to call themselves now have just kind of obliterated it from streaming. So figured I'd get the Blu-ray. So that was a cool find. And then also picked up a different trip, I believe, an older Danny DeVito comedy called Renaissance Man. Now, this was tagged $1.99, but again, the week I picked it up, purple tags were half off. So I have not seen this before, but I hear it's really funny, and I love Danny DeVito, so for 99 cents, could not pass that up. Then a couple things, I believe these others were from two different Goodwills. So first of all, I got I believe they're horror movies, or at least sci-fi, some old Vincent Price films. It's a double feature of The Abominable Dr. Phibes and Dr. Phibes Rises Again. So I'm pretty sure the store I picked these up at, DVDs and Blu-rays actually, are $2.99, so not too bad. And also, this apparently is worth quite a bit. I just picked it up because I remember the show. But it is Shelley Duvall's Fairy Tale Theater, and this is the complete collection of 26 fairy tales on 6 discs. So again, this was just $2.99, and I believe I saw some selling for as much as like $80? So between $60 and $80 on eBay. So if for some reason I decide I don't want to keep it, I am good. And then one other thing from that Goodwill, not a movie, I do have a few more movies, but just because it was from that same store, I found the soundtrack for Mallrats, the classic Kevin Smith film. So I haven't seen all of his newer stuff, but I loved all of these movies growing up. This was probably when I was in high school this came out, but I thought it was especially cool that the cover art here is one of the Magic Eye photos, like the one that the character was freaking out over in the movie. So very cool find. And it's got some good music, too. And then a couple more movies from another store that just... I was only able to grab 3 that day. I didn't have a ton of money. But they had a huge selection of like horror and sci-fi. Lots of pretty obscure stuff. So I wish I could have got more, but here's what I found. So this movie, it's called Altitude, and it's funny, I heard about this when it came out. I believe it was back in 2010, so about 13 years ago. And I believe it was only released on Blu-ray in Europe or Region 2, so I had it in my Amazon wish list for over a decade, and then I'm looking through the movies and I see Altitude, what's that? And I pull it out and I recognize the cover. I'm like, oh my god, it's that movie! So we did watch this already. It wasn't as good as I was hoping, but it was still kind of cool. Had a pretty interesting twist. It's like a kind of like sci-fi movie about a group of I think they were all college students or maybe like grad students, like 20-somethings that charter a private plane and chaos ensues. So it was cool. Then got a triple feature of some schlocky B movies, which I love. So we got Croc, Sea Beast, and Shark Swarm. I'm sure all three of these are probably not amazing, but 3 movies for $3. Can't say no. And the final pickup was a total blind buy on my part. So again, I'm looking through, all the movies are, face with the spines facing out, and I see the pirate movie. I'm like, what the hell is the pirate movie? And again, from the cover art, I'm like, I got nothing. So according to the back, this is an uproarious update of Gilbert and Sullivan's The Pirates of Penzance. And for years, fans were clamoring for this infamous 80s musical to be released, or to be re-released on DVD, I guess, and here it is. So yeah, I just figured I like comedies, I like musicals, I love 80s stuff, let's give it a shot. And not the best movie by any means, but it was pretty entertaining, pretty funny in some spots. It's basically like a comedy musical parody, if that makes sense. It reminded me of films kind of like Airplane or like Top Secret. It had that sort of humor, but pirate themed and with lots of original songs. So yeah, I liked it. All right, so that's all the movies, but also actually got a couple games. Oh, actually, I lied. There's one other movie, just in a very different format. I found a Laserdisc. Now, this is an older sci-fi movie called Communion, about aliens, as I'm sure you can figure out from the background here. But I believe it had, Christopher Walken was the star. I don't remember if I saw this one, but oddly enough, so it says right here, based on the national bestseller. I haven't read this book, but I somehow ended up with the sequel novel. I must have picked it up at like a used bookstore when I was a kid or something. So here's hoping the movie's good too. Okay, so that is it for movies, but as I was starting to say, I did get a couple games at the same Goodwill where I found the triple feature and the pirate movie and whatnot. I found Tony Hawk's American Wasteland for $360 for just $3.99. So this, it's not as good as the early Tony Hawk's in my opinion, but this specific version seems to be a bit harder to find than like the PS2 version, for example. And I mean, I've seen it sell for about like $30 to $40. So for $4, thought that was a good deal. I'll get to that one in a moment. And then another Goodwill find that was pretty funny. It's Santa Claus is Coming to Town for Nintendo Wii. Now that was tagged $2.99, but orange tags were half off the day I found this, so just $1.50. It is complete. And I have actually played this before, and it's pretty fun for what it is. I mean, it's definitely like a very, budget, I wouldn't call it shovelware, but definitely like a budget, cheaper game by Red Wagon Games. Like, I've never even heard of them. But I absolutely loved all these old Rankin Bass kind of claymation or stop motion style movies growing up. I still watch most of them every holiday season. And this is one of my favorites, so definitely had to get the game for $1.50. And then finally, this one was an eBay pickup, not cheap by any means, but I got Armored Core Nexus, and it is complete. It has the manual, has both discs, all in very good condition. Now, I previously had every game in the Armored Core series. I picked them up years ago when I was like really getting into FromSoft games, so like Demon Souls, Dark Souls, and whatnot. And I picked them all up for, I'd say, no more than $20 each. But then earlier this year, when they announced Armored Core 6 was coming out, I noticed some of the games kind of skyrocketed in price, and I was like, maybe I should, sell one or two of them while they're worth money. And the only one that ended up selling was Armored Core Nexus, and I regretted it, because I was like, now I'm missing one game in the series. So thankfully, I was able to win an auction for significantly less than I sold my copy for, so that was good. But it was still pretty expensive. But anyway, now it's good. Now I am caught up again. I just need to pick up Armored Core 6 whenever I get a PS5. But yeah, happy to re-add this to the collection. Okay, then a couple, not games themselves, but I found a couple controllers. So I got actually, it's funny, at first glance I thought this was a DualShock 2 for PS2 because of the cord, but then I realized it's a USB cord, and this is a silver DualShock 3 for PS3. So it was tagged $6.99, but I believe I got it on a half-off day, or maybe like a customer appreciation day, so it was at least 25% off. And it's in really nice shape. It does work perfectly, and silver is pretty much my favorite color when it comes to like controllers or accessories, so that was a no-brainer. And then an even much better deal, actually, I found a black DualShock 4 for PS4 for just $3.99 at a Salvation Army. I have no idea why they priced it so cheap. They usually price them significantly higher at that specific store. And I mean, I feel like the day I found this, I got there pretty late, so they must have just put it out or something, but I'll definitely always grab these if I find them cheap. Okay, so that's it for the gaming stuff, but I did get a couple books, so let me go through those quickly here. First off, I found a Choose Your Own Adventure book, The Magic of the Unicorn. This is one of the newer ones. If you notice, the classic ones were always numbered. This one does not have a volume number. So, I believe this was around like 2017. Okay, newer than I thought. I was going to say 2007. But, yeah, this was like, I think, $1. So, always loved those books growing up. And then I got a stack of... Okay, here. So I got a stack of books from Savers. So they have a promotion where if you purchase 4 books, the 5th book is free. So I always try to, if I find like 3 books, I always try to find 2 more around the same price just so I can kind of get the better deal. And I found a couple cool things. First of all, one of the absolute craziest, most random books I've ever seen in my life. Snakes on a Sudoku. The official Snakes on a Plane puzzle book. So yes, this is an official tie-in to the completely ridiculous Samuel L. Jackson movie, Snakes on a Plane. I could not buy this. It was just so crazy. But it's actually kind of cool because, of course, if you're familiar with Sudoku, you have the little the grid where you're normally supposed to put the numbers 1 through 9 in a grid of 9 squares. What's kind of cool about this book is instead of doing the square of 9, you actually have to fill in a snake-shaped line with the numbers 1 through 9. So I thought that sounded kind of fun, and it's completely unused. So for $1.79 before getting one free, that was a no-brainer again. Then I picked up one of the Goosebumps Horrorland books, Creep from the Deep. Now, I grew up reading the original run of Goosebumps, the Scholastic ones, and I want to say I didn't finish this series. I want to say there's 62 altogether. And I don't recall the exact number, but I want to say the last one I remember reading as a child was called The Beast from the East. I think it was like in the 40s, maybe low 50s. But I've been going back, and now that I go thrifting all the time, whenever I see ones that I don't have, I pick them up. So I think I'm about like 6 books from the full original run. And again, with these newer ones, if I find them cheap enough, I'll pick them up too. So again, $179. Next up, I found Bram Stoker's Dracula, but it's a manga classic. So it is a manga version of Dracula, which I thought was really cool. Like, it has pretty decent art, and I love manga. I love, classic monster stories. And again, $1.79. Then this one actually ended up being my final find, because I was like, I have 4 books, I gotta find one more. And I'm looking through and I see, like, okay, wait, Spider-Man: The Cosmic Adventures. So this is a compilation of some classic Spider-Man comics, including one, I think it's towards the back here, when he gets his cosmic suit. Oh yeah, here. So, and you can see it's kind of like a black and white drawing of it on the back. But yeah, I thought this was pretty neat. Again, $1.79. And then I think this might actually have been the first thing I found. It's a Pokemon Super sticker book of the Unova region. Maybe Unova. And so this one was a little cheaper, $1.29. So this was the free one, but whatever. It's a 50-cent difference. And very cool book. Lots of really cool stickers. Some cool official artwork. I think like 1 or 2 of them had been used, but 99% of them are in here. And again, this book was free, so whatever. Then last batch of books here. These were all from a Salvation Army store. So I found the Little Golden Book version of The Nightmare Before Christmas, one of my all-time favorite movies, for a whopping 95 cents. That was cool. And then, surprisingly, I found a couple of the old Archie Sonic the Hedgehog comics. So it's Sonic the Hedgehog issue 152 of the main series, as well as Sonic X issue 2. And these were just $1.95 each. So I actually collected these when I was a kid, or actually even up through college, to be honest. So I definitely have issues 1 through 150 and all of the spin-offs and like miniseries up to that point. But I want to say issue 150 came out right before I moved to Japan in 2005. Because a month after graduating from college, I moved to Japan, so obviously couldn't go to comic shops and buy these. But yeah, I was surprised. I'm pretty sure I don't have this issue, and I don't recall buying any of the Sonic X issues. So for $4, yeah, why not? And 2 more things at that store. I found the official Premier Edition guidebook for Super Smash Bros. Brawl, the Wii game. And so this was tagged $1.95, but purple tags were half off, so under $1. Has lots of cool artwork and like strategies and stuff. And I know Brawl isn't everybody's favorite, but I really enjoyed the the Subspace Emissary, I believe, the single player adventure mode. So I kind of wish they would bring that back in a future Smash Brothers game. But anyway, that was cool. And then one final thing, I found a Pokemon Ghost, Dark, and Steel handbook from Scholastic. Again, $1.95 purple tag, so under $1. And, obviously these are for kids, I know, but I love Pokemon, lots of cool artwork in these, and it has a poster, so cool stuff. Alright, so that's it for the books. Next, let's see, I got a couple plush I'm not going to show you first. So first of all, here, I found this really cute Mickey. It's the Brave Little Tailor version. So has a couple issues. The little feather in his cap here, like a thread came out, and then the threads in his left hand came out, and he kind of had a little blowout there in his crotch. I don't know what happened there, but I thought it was really cute. And if you watch my previous pickup video, my fiance and I have gotten into the game Lorcana, the new Disney card game, and the Brave Little Tailor Mickey card is probably one of the best cards in the set. So second I saw him in the bin, I was like, oh, it's a Brave Little Tailor. So had to get him. 99 cents on the plush. So it's all good. And at that same store, found this really kind of goofy looking little alien. He's got this kind of cool black cloak thing with silver trim. And here you can see this one was actually tagged 99 cents. It doesn't, it just seems to be like a generic brand here. I didn't see any. Yeah, it just says made in China and like general stuff on it. So if anybody knows what that's from, let me know. I loved aliens growing up. I was one of those weird kids in junior high that always had like the alien t-shirts or like the X-Files stuff. I want to believe. So fun throwback for me. Then at one of the it's pretty big, but it's like an independent thrift store I have down the road that has really, really limited hours. They're open like 2 or 3 days a week from like 10 to 4, so it's really hard to get there. But anyway, I stopped in at some point last month, or this month, it's still September, and I found this really cute cat plush pillow. It was just $2, and this is an actual Japanese toy that says... So it's from Furyu Corporation. It's Nemu... Oh, Nemu Neko. So it's like sleeping cats. That makes sense. So you can see he's got kind of like the sleepy eyes. But I looked these up, and it looks like new. Some places are selling these for like, I think it was like $40. So for $2, I'm happy with it. And then one other plush that I thought was really cute. I got this old witch plush. So this was from Savers, and that was $2.99. Now, where'd the tag go? So it said this was from International Silver Company. And I'm pretty sure my family had either this exact witch plush or something very, very similar, because it just looked really familiar to me. And I don't know if it comes across in the video there, but it's made of that kind of like windbreaker type material that you saw a lot in like the maybe late 80s, early 90s. So it's just kind of like a fun retro find for me. And, you know, we love Halloween, so it'd be a cool Halloween decoration too. Then one additional thing, they are plush, but I actually found them in a toy bag for a whopping $2.99. So I think this might actually be the full set of Jurassic World beanbag plush. Oh, they roar! I didn't even realize that. Let's see. So anyway, yeah, we got a Triceratops, Stegosaurus, little Dilophosaurus, and of course a T-Rex. You can see there in Jurassic World. So yeah, these came out just... a couple years ago, 2021, from Mattel. And I want to say these were... Gosh, I think at least $6 each, maybe even closer to 10. And I got all 4 of them for $2.99. So that was a really, really crazy find at a Goodwill. And then, continuing on with that theme, let's take a look at a couple other toy bags here. Let me move some of this stuff over. Alright, let's stick with Goodwill stuff for now. Okay, I think this may have been from that same store. So, again, $2.99, but it's a little bag just chock full of tiny little dinosaurs and animals and, like, sea life. Now, a lot of these I'm probably just gonna, you know, sell on at, like, the toy show, for example. I usually sell these, like, depending on the size, like, 2 for $1 or even 4 for $1. And, you know, like, kids like picking them up or digging through them, so I always like to, you know, have a nice selection. But the reason I grabbed this is I noticed there are a couple of the Jurassic World mini dinosaurs in there. So we have a Carnotaurus, and then this, I'm pretty sure this guy glows in the dark. It's supposed to be like the bioluminescent Parasaurolophus from Camp Cretaceous, the animated series on Netflix. And I'm pretty sure this one was exclusive to a multi-pack. I want to say it was like 15 dinosaurs for like $30 or something. And I don't believe I ever picked that one up. So as soon as I spotted that guy, I'm like, whoa, that's cool. Then, let's see, there were definitely a couple others in here. Yeah, we have a A little Dimorphodon, which is one of my favorites. And then I'm pretty sure I saw... Oh, there he is. Bumpy, the Ankylosaurus, again from Camp Cretaceous. So, I mean, those figures alone were, probably like $10. And, oh, yeah, I thought this was crazy. There is part of a dollar bill in the toy bag. Unfortunately, that's all that's in there. I obviously can't use this as currency, but kind of a random thing to see. Yeah, I think that was about it. There were some other kind of cool looking dinosaurs. I'm not sure what these are from. It says Phidal, Phidal. Some kind of cool, like, pretty detailed dinosaurs with little bases. I think there's like 4 or 5 of those in here. But yeah, I mean, I was really happy with just the Jurassic World guys for just a couple bucks. So that was a cool pickup. Next, this one, again, $2.99. This may have been that same trip. So there were a couple pretty cool ones in here. So here we have, oh gosh, what was his name? Goose from Captain Marvel. This one is from the upcoming The Marvels, but it's the little, what do they call it? Florkin? Something like that? Florkin, I think. But anyway, it's like an alien cat that has like creepy tentacles that come out of its mouth. It's just a cute little McDonald's toy, but thought that was cool. Then we have a little Grogu vinyl figure. If I can not drop him. I think these were sold for about like $4 or even between $4 and $6 each in little blind boxes. Then there's a cool little Spider-Man, probably just like a cake topper or something, but I like Spider-Man. A little bendable Pluto plush. It's actually from the Disney show House of Mouse. And then there are a bunch of the Simpsons movie figures. So we have Maggie, Nelson, Bart, and Marge with a multi-eyed raccoon. And then I think, yeah, there's an extra Marge and an extra Maggie. Then here's some sort of electronic Nemo figure. Probably needs new batteries. It doesn't seem to do anything. And then 2 other cool things in this bag. This goofy looking winged cat. I tried doing a Google image search on this, and apparently this was sold at, I think, Trader Joe's. So I guess maybe it's like a Halloween decoration or something. That was cool. And then last but not least is the giant spider from Kong Skull Island. Unfortunately, it is missing one of its 8 legs, but this was a pretty cool toy from, I believe, Leonard, back when Kong Skull Island came out. And yeah, for $3 with all these other toys, that was a no-brainer pickup. Oh, this guy too. I don't know what this is from, but if you turn him on and push his arm down, it makes fart noises. I think it's from some like Nickelodeon show or something. So, yeah, Viacom made for McDonald's. Beats me. Okay. Oh, I think I hear one of the Maggie toys going off. Alright, move that, and we'll continue on. Here is another Goodwill find. So this bag was just $1.99, and this, let me just dump them out and show you. There are... First off, there's like a kind of cool-looking Charizard finger puppet. I don't know if it's official. Doesn't have any markings on it. Probably just a little bootleg. Then there's some kind of like little kid... I think that's supposed to be a dinosaur or a turtle or something. But basically you roll this ball and the little hatchling in there like pops in and out of its shell. Put that down there. There is a Slinky Dog from Toy Story. Probably a Funko thing based on the eyes, but it's just like a little clip-on. It's kind of cute. And then the rest of these, I looked up. I won't show you every single one individually here, but they are little holiday-themed Disney figures that I believe were from a advent calendar. What was it called? I want to say it was like Disney the Artist Collection or something, or the Animators Collection, something like that. So it was like a Disney store thing, and there were supposed to be 24 figures. I think I counted and I had like 21 here, so unfortunately just missing a couple. But I mainly grabbed it because it has some Beauty and the Beast figures, which is my fiance's favorite Disney movie. So we got like a little Gaston, and then I don't recall the horse's name, but him, and then like the rose itself. So very cool, and surprisingly very expensive. I saw some people were trying to sell the individual figures on eBay, for example, for close to $10 each. So I don't know if this was like a really limited set or what, or if people are just trying to scalp them, but I got all of them for $1.99. So I am happy. Then moving on, one final toy bag and a couple individual toys, but we'll wrap up the bags here. So this was from a Salvation Army. It was $3.99. Quite a few of this stuff is definitely going to be sold off at a toy show, like these monster trucks. Like, I don't care about those. But what I did notice in here were a couple of very cool Pokemon toys. So we have a very cool looking, who's that? Raikou from the Gold and Silver era. And this is a Jax figure from 2010. It's pretty old, but still in nice shape, like the tail isn't broken or anything. And then this one I was really happy to find. It is a Porygon 2 figure. Again, I believe it's a Jax figure from 2009. So if anybody watched my video, my pickup video from the end of summer, I picked up the new Porygon figure from Jax, which was just released this year. And I was like, man, it'd be cool to find a Porygon 2. Here you go. With all this other stuff for a whopping $4. So it does have a couple little scratches on its eyes, but I can touch it up. It's not a big deal. So, very happy to find that. Then a couple other cool things in here. We have a Dracula figure, one of the Universal Monsters toys. This was from Burger King back in, I want to say it was like the late 90s. Yeah, 97. So I want to say there were 4 figures in the set, and each one came with some sort of container. So, of course, Dracula came with a coffin, but it had kind of like an action feature where if you pushed a lever, it would make him stand up in the coffin. And there was also, I want to say like a Frankenstein, I believe a Wolfman, and it was either a creature from the Black Lagoon or the Mummy. I want to say it was a creature. But yeah, so I instantly recognized him. I'm like, oh, I remember that. So I got that. Then this guy, this is kind of funny. It's Max. Oh, no, not Max. Shoot, what's his friend's name? Max, Pete, and it escapes me. Pauly Shore's character from the Goofy movie series. This is actually from the second movie, an extremely goofy movie when they were all into like extreme sports in college. But yeah, I thought he was kind of cool. Looks like he was supposed to have some kind of launcher or something, but whatever. Then a few other things. Let's see. These, what company were these from? Safari, surprisingly. I mainly know them for making all the like dinosaur and animal toys, but I found a set of zombies, rather this bag had a set of zombies from Safari. I'll try to show you each one individually here. Hopefully they're in focus. So we got like a male zombie, a crawling male zombie, and then 2 different female zombies. Thought those were neat. Then some various like Hot Wheels I don't really care about. Oh, this was cool. The Joker from Batman the Animated Series. Like, this is the original Kenner figure from 1996. So that was cool. Of course, Mark Hamill voiced him. That was... It's kind of weird. Like, I was never big into DC stuff. I'm still not. Like, I cannot stand Superman. Don't get me started on that. But Batman the Animated Series, oh my god, was that an awesome show. And now I got the Joker. And then one final thing in here that I just thought was incredible. It's Bart Simpson dressed as Godzilla. Like, two of my all-time favorite things in the world. The Simpsons and Godzilla in one perfect little figure. I think this might have actually been like a Burger King toy or something. I thought I saw a marking on it somewhere. But I have never seen this before in my life, and I was just like, rummaging around the bag to see what was in it. I was like, holy crap, that's awesome. So that is definitely going on my desk. All right, moving on. Some other toys. Some very small things here. So this is a Sonic the Hedgehog toy. It was 99 cents, and I believe this was from Burger King. So apparently they did, it was just August through December of 2022, last year. I did not hear about these at all. They did some sort of series of Sonic-themed fidget toys. And sorry if it's hard to see there, but it's like a little basketball game. So you have Sonic holding a basket on one side and Knuckles on the other, and then the ball itself, hopefully you can see it, it's a Chaos Emerald. So I just thought this was kind of fun for $1. I don't know what the other stuff in the series looks like, but this one was very cool. Oops. And then a few other finds. This I thought was really neat. It's a, of course it's Mickey Mouse, but it is a Japanese little vehicle toy here. I'm sure you can't read it through the video there, but it's from Masudaya Corporation, and it's dated 1981. So this thing is 2 years older than me. And what's kind of cool, so Mickey's head moves around, and then if you can see here, there's this lever, or if you pull it back and release it, watch the rear wheels here. It's like a rev and go thing. So I know you can't see the tabletop, so I can't like show you it rolling around, but very cool. And 99 cents! Insane. Then another Goodwill find. I have no idea what this is from, but it's a very goofy looking gorilla that I don't know if you can read it here, but it says Dookie Kong. And apparently I can't remember what these are called, but I looked it up, and they're these like weird toys that I think you filled them with slime, I want to say. And then I think it was, here, if you notice on the bottom, like he's got an opening there. If you rotate his leg, that opens up. So it's supposed to be like he's pooping slime. It's kind of gross. But I just thought it was too funny. Dookie Kong? Like, come on. 99 cents. Awesome. Another Goodwill find here. Hopefully you can read it here. This is a Tomy pocket game. It's a little like ball-bearing shooting gallery toy from 1976. Very, very old. Much older than me. But I just thought it was really cute and kind of fun. Like, it does work. You put the balls up here, and then they actually shoot out of this little cannon thing down here. And you have to hit these 4 little panels. But again, 99 cents. And then, this guy. So I was at what was that store? Community Threads, which is like a very large Home and the Sparrow store, not too far from me. And I noticed in their display case, they had a couple action figures, and I spotted Peely. So I do not play Fortnite. I tried getting into it once, and I didn't really have a good time, so I haven't really gone back to it. But I always thought some of their like original character designs were pretty cool, like especially Peely. And so I'm looking at this guy in the display case, and I'm like, you know what? If it's under $3, I'll get it. Bam, $2.99. So I don't know, they must have seen me coming, or but yeah, he's just a really cool kind of goofy banana character. I think he came with some sort of like weapon or something, but I don't care. I think this is normally like a $15 figure too, so for $3 I'm happy. Then one other thing here before I have some really cool dinosaur stuff I'm going to get into, but let me let me give you some backstory on this next one. So, quite a while ago, several years ago, I found this really cool Michelangelo figure. He's about, I think, like 11 inches tall, very articulated, so he's got shoulder, elbow, and then, I don't know if you could see here, but all of his finger joints are actually articulated, which is kind of crazy. And then, like, he can move his legs and everything, and he actually came with his nunchucks. But what I always thought was weird is he has these kind of, like, openings on his feet with these little, like, metal clips and magnets inside. And I'm like, what is the deal with that? Like, I figured he was supposed to attach to something, right? And so after, I probably had him, like, in a box for a while, and I dug him out, and I'm like, oh yeah, this guy's cool. And I tried doing, like, a Google image search to see if I could get more information. And it turns out he was supposed to come with a skateboard attachment. So I'm sure you can see where I'm going with this. I found the skateboard! So I'm at Goodwill just, like, rummaging through the toys, as I always do, and I see, this thing sitting on, like, one of the higher shelves. I'm like, what is that? And I pull it down, it says TMNT, $2.99, orange tag, half off, and it's the exact skateboard that goes with this figure. So I've had this thing, God, probably at least 6 years, and I finally found this freaking skateboard. And it does work. I'm not going to put it down because this thing is just insane, but check this out. I'm going to turn it on. Look how fast these wheels go. Oh, maybe the figure has to be on there. Oh, there. That is bonkers. That is, like, dangerous. And it didn't, like, come with a remote or anything, so I think you're just supposed to let it go, and then he just, like, goes around until he hits stuff, because this front bumper here, I don't know if you could see, but when you push it in, it raises these little round pegs that get him to release from these clips. So I don't know if it's supposed to be, like, Crash and Bash Mikey or something. There was a name for it, I just don't remember. But yeah, it's kind of cool. It's from 2004, so this is from the Turtles 2003 series, which I didn't actually watch when it was airing. I was in college when that one came out, but a year or two ago when we had Paramount Plus, I actually finally watched the entire series, and it was pretty good. Not my favorite, but definitely pretty good. So anyway, happy to finally complete this little figure set. And then next, let's take a look at some dinosaur stuff. So at Savers, I think I only went there maybe once in September, but the one time one of the times I was there, they had just a crazy slew of dinosaur toys, which I'm a big fan of. Unfortunately, a lot of them were either a little overpriced, in my opinion, or stuff I already had, or had, like, another version of, so I was like, do I really need these? So I put 99% of them back, but I did end up grabbing one really cool Spinosaurus toy here for $3.49. So this one, very detailed, very cool figure. The only articulation is on the jaw, but still very cool. It's got, like, all individual teeth and everything. And this one is from a company called Papo. And they're, to my knowledge, they're a relatively newer toy company, or at least when it comes to dinosaurs. So this one's from 2007. And I say newer as opposed to something like the Carnegie collection, which started back in, like, the 80s. So new to me. But anyway, they make very, very cool, very detailed stuff. And I think a figure this size would usually be between, like, $30 and $40. So I figured $3.50 was definitely a fair price for this guy. And then found quite a bit of Jurassic World stuff between a couple Goodwill visits. So first off, I grabbed this T-Rex. It was a little more expensive than I would normally pay at a thrift store. I was $7.99. And when it comes to the Mattel T-Rexes, I have so freaking many, so I almost always ignore them. But I noticed this one was, like, a slightly different color. It's like a kind of light brown. I don't know if that comes across with the lighting. But I noticed it has a button in the tail here, and check out what he does. So So he roars and his head shakes. So I thought that was really neat. And it turns out this is called the Epic Roarin' T-Rex, and it was part of the Camp Cretaceous toy line. And I definitely did not have this one. I don't even recall seeing this one in stores. But I thought just with that action feature for $8, this was cool. So happy to find him. And then at, I think probably my most recent thrifting trip, about a week and a half ago, I went to my local Goodwill, and they just had lots of cool Jurassic World stuff. So first off, I found one of the only decent figures from Hasbro's original Jurassic World line, the Mosasaurus, for just 99 cents. And how's it work? Yeah, so you move his fins back and he chomps and like flicks his tail. So I don't know if anybody else is into dinosaur toys or Jurassic World even, but the toy line that Hasbro put out for the original Jurassic World movie in, what was that, 2007-ish, I want to say? Maybe it says on here. I don't see. Oh, here. 2015. I'm way off. Okay, yeah, so 2015, most of the toys were garbage. They looked so bad. They were just like hard plastic, and even this one, it has all these exposed screw holes. It was just awful. Especially for someone like me who grew up with the original Kenner Jurassic Park toys, which were like incredible. It was very disappointing. But there were, again, one or two that I thought were decent. One being this guy, and then I thought the original Indominus Rex was pretty cool looking. And I've definitely picked up a couple of those over the years. But anyway, so this one from the Hasbro line. And then from Mattel, who makes the current Jurassic World toys that are all like basically amazing. I found this really cool. So this one's a repaint. It's the Rajasaurus. And I thought I already had this one, but it turns out I just have the original coloration. So I figured for $2, why not get this cool looking one? And I'm pretty sure if you like push down on his body and he chomps. So you can make him like go down and like bite smaller dinos or whatever. But yeah, just $2. I think he was normally like 15. So that was cool. And then found this crazy cool blue dinosaur mask. It was a little more expensive. It was $6.99. But what's really neat about this one is it is electronic. Let me turn it on here. I am able to wear it, but it's definitely designed for like a child's head, not my like friggin' melon head here. So it's kind of goofy looking. But so I'll just kind of use my hand to show you what it does. So you open his mouth. Let me hold it here. And it roars. And another cool thing I noticed, here, watch the eye here. They actually shift forward. I just thought that was so cool. And, you can probably see here, like, the sides of his snout are clear, so you can see through there. It's a pretty well-designed mask, I thought. And I think these were normally, like, $30. So even for $7, this was cool. Cool find. And then, unbelievable, but I'm walking down the toy aisle and I look across the top, and what do I see? The freaking Brachiosaurus! Insane. Again, $6.99. This guy, this is the original one, not the new, like, Hammond collection, like, ultra detailed one. But still, this was a Target exclusive, and I'm pretty sure when it was new, I want to say it was like $60, maybe even $65. So to find this for $6.99, like in decent shape, it's not broken or anything. It feels like the tail is kind of like slightly stuck to one side, but I don't care. I mean, it's got the moving jaw, the neck moves, the legs all move. This is amazing. So I saw this on top, and I just kind of, like, hustled down the aisle, so I'm probably sure I look like a huge dork, but I don't care. I got a Brachiosaurus. Alright, so that's pretty much it for the action figure and, like, small toys, but I got a couple cool board game-style toys. First off was this Pokemon Battle Dome game. So I got this at Savers, and kind of a funny story. So I remember I walked into the store, and I'm walking along like the back aisle towards the toys section, and I see a guy walking around holding this in his arm. I'm like, oh man, I wish I got here earlier so I could have got that. And I was like, okay, whatever, there's other cool stuff, it's fine. And later on, I'm in the board game aisle, and I'm looking at like some other games and stuff, and the guy kind of walks up to me. He's like, hey, look, I found this cool Pokemon game. And I'm like, first I'm like, why are you talking to me? What's going on? But I was just like, oh yeah, that's really cool. And he's like, yeah, do you like Pokemon? Do you want it? And I'm like, yeah, are you sure? Like, he's like, yeah, I have so much stuff. I'm trying not to, trying to control myself, not buy everything I see. I'm like, I mean, yeah, I collect Pokemon stuff. I love it. So he gave it to me. And then actually, to kind of repay him, before I went into the store, I donated a bunch of stuff. And whenever you donate stuff to Savers, here's a tip. If you donate something, you will get a 20% off coupon that you can use in the store. And normally, you make a donation, they give you one coupon. For whatever reason, the guys are like, here, take 3. So they gave me 3 20% off coupons, all of which are good till the end of the year. I'm like, hell yeah. But because that guy was so nice, I was like, hey, do you got a coupon? He's like, no, not this time. I'm like, boom, here you go, bro. So, yeah. Be nice to people, pay them back. I don't know. It was fun. I was happy. But anyway, this thing, $5.99, and it is complete, and it does work. It's a pretty fun game. It's like, you can see some people playing back here. So it's a little bit like the, it reminds me of the classic game Crossfire, if any of you ever played that. So there's like these various little like targets and spinning things in there, and you're like shooting these little ball bearings and trying to hit them and get them into your opponent's goal. But yeah, I mean, I love Pokemon, and got a cool story out of it, so happy to get that. And then a couple other very cool finds here. So I believe I mentioned last month, my fiance and I have gotten into the game Lorcana, and we've started actually going to a local game store as part of their league. And at the store, they sell all different kinds of like tabletop games, of course, card games, and also like board games and stuff. So I'm always looking at them and like, oh, that's really cool, and like I'd like to find that or play that. But no knock against them or anything. I'm sure they're selling for like retail, but these games are really expensive. I mean, a couple of them are like $50 or even $100, and I'm like, I'm not that interested. But anyway, I believe it was a couple months ago, I picked up a game called King of Tokyo, which is a kaiju-themed tabletop game from Richard Garfield, the creator of Magic the Gathering. And we haven't gotten around to playing it, but it's a really cool game, and I think I got it for under $5, and it sells for like $50. So when I was at a local Goodwill recently, I'm looking through, and I see, it was kind of obscured, I saw the text King of, I'm like, oh wow, another one. But then I pull it out, and it's the follow-up game, King of New York. And again, $2.99. I was going to say $3.99. So $3. And they have this exact set at our local game store for $51.99. So I was like, holy crap. Oh yeah, here, you can even see. It's got a price tag on the back here. It says $49.99. And it has a demo sticker. I don't know if maybe a store used this as like a demo game and then just decided to donate it, but it is complete. It's in great shape. So I was very happy to find that. And on a similar note, this one I'm not familiar with, or I wasn't familiar with, but just upon looking it up, so this one is actually sealed. It's called Trekking the National Parks, the board game. It says it was the winner of the Mensa Select and Parents' Choice Gold Award. It's a second edition. I don't know if that makes a difference. But it's essentially a tabletop game about visiting all of America's national parks. And I'm like, that sounds kind of interesting. And again, I looked it up, and it's like $50. And it had like a 5-star review on Amazon. And I was like, shoot, $5 for a brand new game? I'm not going to say no to that. So, very cool. Then, let's see, a few, won't really call them toys or collectibles, just kind of like miscellaneous pickups that I thought were kind of interesting. So I found this. It's a little decorative lamp. It's a game controller. Hopefully you can see the lights on video there. Let me put it back so it lights up. But so the outside lights up blue, and then the controllers and this little like sensor bar looking thing in the middle are all different colors too. I just thought it was kind of cool, like a fun game room decoration. It was only $2.50, $2.49. I think I looked this up, and I think they're normally like 15 or 20, so $2.50, not bad. Then this is kind of goofy. So this I've mentioned in previous videos. I absolutely love lenticular stuff, like the 3D motion effect stuff. So this is just like a cool like little underwater scene. But it turns out this is actually a bookmark with a built-in reading light, and it was just 99 cents. So I despite all the like games and movies and stuff I pick up, I do love to read. I read, I think, an entire 10-book series in like 2 weeks last year. Yeah, my issue is I just read too fast, so I try not to buy books new, just because, I'll spend $20 on a book and finish it in a day, and I'm like, okay. Anyway, just thought the bookmark was really cool. Lenticular, it's got a little lamp, so it's actually something I could use, too. Then, this was kind of a fun find. It is a Lego minifigure cake mold, and it's brand new in the original packaging here. So that was just $3.99 at a Salvation Army, and I looked it up, and apparently these are like discontinued, and actually might even be worth a little money. I mean, we're probably going to keep it because we love Legos, and I thought it would be cool to make like a cake. But yeah, just $4 on that. Then got... This is very random, but it is a professional USB MIDI 1-in, 1-out interface cable. It was $3.99, and I am by no means at all a musician. I have no idea what I'm doing, but I have picked up a couple of MIDI keyboards that, I was thinking I kind of want to make like maybe some little jingles for the channel or something, or just, mess around with it. But I didn't have a way to connect it to my computer. Now I do. So, this is just like some generic brand. It's got some kind of random Amazon label. Whoop. I'm sure, like, new would probably no more than like $20, but it was there. It's new. $4. Why not? Put that there. And, okay, two more things. Two more miscellaneous things, anyway. So this, I thought, was really cool. It is a Magnavox TV swivel base. So it's essentially like a big plastic, what are they called? Lazy Susan? Like the thing you'd put on your table to put condiments on. But it's for a small CRT. And it was $3.99, orange tag, and half off. So whopping $2. And I'm pretty sure it's like unused in there. It was still in like plastic. And it says it rotates 360 degrees. I don't know I ever need to rotate it that much. But it holds up to 150 pounds, which is pretty impressive. Oh, man. A quick aside story here. So when I lived in Japan, I actually had a really cool CRT. It was a widescreen CRT that had a motorized base. So there was a button on the remote that would allow you to rotate the TV in either direction, which was really cool. In my in one of my apartments, I had kind of like a little sofa set up going straight out, but then my computer with my desk was to the left. So if I was sitting on the sofa, obviously the TV going straight out, then I want to sit at my desk and have something on, hit the button, boom. It's like I watch TV. I really should have had it like shipped over. I sent all my stuff back through like an actual like sea freight company, but I stupidly didn't think to keep the TV. So, oh well. But anyway, next best thing for $2. Okay, one more totally random thing that probably no one else is going to care about, but I thought it was cool. This is a little Rubbermaid thing keeper from the 90s. So this is obviously a very bizarre thing to get excited about, But it was just $2.99, and I actually still, to this day, I have 2 of these that I use. One of which I store my Battle Trolls in, and then another one has, I think, some of my original Kenner Jurassic Park toys. And I just immediately recognized this on the shelf. Mine does not have this really cool, like, Ultra 90s label on it, but I was like, whoa, it's that, that Rubberman case. I didn't even realize, or I didn't remember they were called a Thing Keeper. But, yeah, it was $2.99. It's in great shape, very clean inside, no damage or anything. Just gotta dust it a little bit, but very happy to find another one of these. And then one final thing. This was actually something my fiance picked up. I did not pay for these. I will not take credit. But something just absolutely incredible that was just delivered a few hours ago, which is insane because we ordered them yesterday. So huge shout out to Lego for their pretty amazing shipping times. But we got the Lego Hocus Pocus set. So this thing is awesome. It is the, of course, Sanderson sisters house, and it comes with minifigures of all 3 Sanderson sisters and the 3 kids from the original movie, which the sequel was okay, but it doesn't hold a candle to the original. So just very, 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 very cool set. And I'm pretty sure oh yep, there he is. Just hard to see. There's a little Thackeray Binks, the black cat from the movie. So we have had our eye on this since it was announced back in, I think, like spring of this year. But if anyone else shops on Lego.com, or I guess the Lego stores in person, it seems to be about once a month they'll do a promotion where if you spend X amount on, just Lego sets, or sometimes it has to be like specific, like this time it had to be a Disney set, you'll get a little bonus. Like sometimes it'll be like a little bonus set, or just like a little like builder thing with like some like themed pieces. Like I think back in spring we got like a little bag of like spring themed accessories, for example. So anyway, we have been kind of watching and checking every couple months to see if they put out something cool. And a few months ago, they had a promotion where if you bought a Disney set, or if you spent, I think it was like X amount on a Disney set, you would get this really cool bonus Disney 100 limited edition mini set. But when we found out about it last time, it sold out. However, I just somewhat randomly, I decided to check yesterday morning, and they had a promotion where if you bought a Disney set, you get this very cool Disney 100 building set with photo frame, or like little photo holders, and an exclusive Mickey minifigure for free. And what's crazy is, again, I just looked at this yesterday, and it said the promotion ran, I think, from the 23rd through, I want to say the 29th, which was yesterday, and they still had it in stock. So we put our order in, and here it is. Today is September 30th, and it's already freaking here. So, insane. But anyway, very, very thrilled to finally add these to our Lego collection. Again, huge shout out to my fiance for purchasing these. I could not afford them myself, but I'll give you a closer look at that. So it's got Disney 100 theme thing, kind of like a Minnie Mouse frame there. And then it looks like maybe an original drawing of like Steamboat Willie, and then the Mickey minifigure with a little film reel set. So very cool. Okay, but that is it. That is everything for September 2023. Hopefully I will have some cool pickups to show you in October. As I mentioned at the beginning, it's going to be a very busy month for me. Actually selling things for once, not buying things. Again, if you are in the Chicagoland area and you're interested in either non-sports cards or toys or collectibles, check out both the Chicago Non-Sports Card Show in Carroll Stream, Illinois. That is, I believe, October 6th and 7th. It's a Friday and Saturday. And then later in the month is the Chicago Toy Show at the Kane County Fairgrounds. That is the 21st and 22nd, a Saturday and a Sunday. Again, if you can make it, come say hi, come buy some of my stuff, please. I'd love to meet you. That said, if you haven't already, please consider subscribing. I have lots more videos on the way, lots of pickups, unboxings, some really cool stuff you never knew existed. So be sure to check back when you can. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day.